The episode begins with Rain being directed by the principal, via letter, to check the basement. He reveals the secret door and proceeds down. Meanwhile, Milo the Fourth leaves Love to take care of Barrett and Finn since they are single-liners. Love introduces herself and asks the two lads if they like her. This takes them by surprise, and they stare at her with confusion. She doubles down on her question, but Barrett informs her that they barely know her, so how can they have such feelings for her? She then asks if they think she's cute. The redhead concludes that she's the super manipulative type, which normal people would find repulsive, but he finds it attractive. However, he has his sights on Lemon, so he politely informs Love that he's not interested. Hearing that he's in love with someone else angers her, and she attacks them with a wind spell. The lads conclude that Love is emotionally unstable, and Barrett barely manages to defend against the assault with an explosion spell. The redhead takes some damage as Love has immense raw magic power. Love shouts that all girls are born princesses and should be serenaded and served. Any guy who can't meet that standard can die in her mind. Based on that explanation, she asks them again if they like her. Barrett gives her the same answer, but before he can finish, she punches him with a wind attack that sends him flying. Love reveals that her dad gave her the go-ahead to end any guy who doesn't cherish her. Although Barrett is the father of all simps, he stands up, disagreeing with her dad's statement. He acts on his viewpoint by shooting some fireballs at her. Love is confident that she can easily defend against it since her magic power is greater, but she is surprised to learn that the attack was not aimed at her but at the floor around her. It creates a smoke screen that blocks her vision. Love quickly figures this out and swiftly counters as Barrett dashes for her wand. Barrett is knocked back again, and his headband comes off. Love mocks him for being too weak, stating that it's almost impossible for him to beat her. To emphasize the bleakness of their situation, she discloses that Milo can turn the person who opened the underground door into stone. If they don't defeat her and get to him in the next 30 minutes, Mash will turn to stone since he's the one who opened it. Love casts a wind cage spell, attacking Barrett while ambushing him in a tornado. She feels sorry for Mash for having to put up with such friends, but she also believes that he deserves it for going up against a leader like Abel. She thinks it's foolish for him to fight against someone without knowing their true strength. Barrett feels like he's losing his life as the wind rips him apart to the point where he feels the pain in his skeleton frame. With the way things are going, he's going to need some milk for them bones. He knows that Love outclasses him and concedes that there is nothing he can do about it. Barrett gets a flashback to when he was younger and a bit of a pushover. His peers tried to take advantage of his non-confrontational manner by confiscating his new broom. But his older sister taught the kids a little lesson with an explosion. When the kids scattered, she advised the young Barrett to fight for himself. Otherwise, he would feel guilty if he couldn't fight for a real friend who gets sad or angry on his behalf. Such people only come once in a lifetime, so he should never betray a friend like that. Another flashback occurs when Mash got angry when Iron and his accomplice were mocking Barrett after beating him. Barrett feels like he can't let Mash down, so he begins to fight against the tornado. Meanwhile, Love makes her way to a terrified Finn to finish him off. As she prepares to end him, Barrett breaks through the tornado. The redhead states that he can't let things end like this. When she mocked his friends, Barrett has a cross on his forehead under the headband. Love has a look of fear on her face as she comments on the increase in his magic power. She tries to attack him with a wind spell, but he matches it perfectly on this occasion. As she wonders how this is possible, Love notices the cross on his forehead and states that she has heard about it before. The girl explains that some children are born with a warding cross on their foreheads. They are battle demons whose magic power amplifies when they are pushed past their emotional threshold. These individuals are called the Era Crews. He unleashes his barrage of gun explosions, calling her a scumbag, which is heavily inspired by MASH. The attack lands around Love. He makes it known to her that he doesn't like picking on girls, so he tells her to get lost. His kind gestures move Love to tears as she thanks him for his leniency. This shows that she has accepted her defeat. Finn is impressed that he was able to defeat the fifth fawn on his own and is shocked that Barrett is a double-liner. Just as Finn prepares to vocally congratulate his friend on the victory, Milo interrupts with a sudden attack. But Barrett rushes in and takes the hit, knocking Finn back down to safety. The fourth Thong steps up, berating Love for not being able to deal with what he sees as fodder. But low-key, both of them be looking like a bootleg Cosmo and Wanda. The redhead is not sure he can take on such a powerful opponent in his current condition. Love further points out that Milo is a prodigy as he is the only first-year student among the MASHLE Lupus. He launches a stone hand attack at the lads, but as they approach, a sword comes flying from the entrance and introduces itself without consent to his gut. instantly knocking him out of commission. Milo can't believe that his magic was broken so quickly. He looks up to see who launched such an attack, and genuine dread washes across his face when he sees the person. He wonders why such a person is in the basement. Milo reveals that Rain is a divine visionary. Barrett is also shocked to see their dorm's ace in their presence. Milo is intimidated that such a high-level mage has entered the fray. He tries to rationalize it, pointing out that Rain is still a student just like him. He knows that he doesn't stand a chance, so he tries to reason with him but uses it as a cover to launch a sneak attack. But the ace just cuts it in half with ease. This only annoys Rain, who calls Milo a piece of trash before he summons a sea of blades. Faced with such overwhelming power, the fourth Fong wonders if Rain is a student. The newcomer rains out a hail of swords on him. Barrett watches in awe as he gets to witness just a glimpse of what a visionary is magically capable of. After seeing that, Love quickly removes her Magia Lupus merch and comments on how she wants to defect to Adler. At this point, Milo has been completely apprehended and just can't believe the difference in strength. As Rain steps up close to him, the first year tries to explain that he had no choice and pleads for forgiveness for not being able to resist Abel's pressure. The visionary has a MASHLE-like unbothered facial expression as he kicks Milo in the stomach, like Ronaldo taking a free kick or like that guy on the Milo packaging. He begins to repeatedly kick and stomp on the poor guy as he comments that action is the most important thing in the world, not words. Rain doesn't even trust the words of scum like him and believes that it is best to teach Milo's type through pain. Barrett watches the one-sided beatdown and is just happy that he's on their side. The visionary stops for a moment and asks his juniors to get out of the basement. He will get the details out of Milo. They don't argue with the order and just leave as instructed. Finn reveals that Rain is his older brother to Barrett's shock. Everyone leaves, and so does the visionary. It seems like a character called Innocent Zero has his pawns at the school. He is certain that they are concealing their powers to hide. His thoughts are interrupted when he notices Mash approaching from behind with immense pressure around him. But he can't sense any magic coming from the cream puff eater. He suspects that Mash is one of Innocent Zero's men, so he stops to confront the magical student. The visionary removes his wand as he notifies him that he will make the investigation quick. At this point, Mash is confused as to what is going on. After Rain whips out a creature that measures one's true magic power, Rain intends to use this to determine Mash's legit level, which will make it clear if he's a student or an imposter. The creature brags that it has profiled the power of thousands of magic users. As soon as Mash expresses his reluctance to participate, Rain doesn't hesitate and fires one of his swords at him. But the magical student blocks it with his 2 fingers, all the while the creature begins to measure his magic power. Mash politely wants to know why he's suddenly attacking and warns him that that is dangerous and barbaric. Rain suspects that he didn't use magic. The power-measuring creature begins to get scared when its reading comes out as 0. The visionary is a little surprised that the creature can't pick up any power. Rain decides to increase his attack percentage a little, which summons more blades. They quickly attack Mash again. And as it looks like they have pierced him, however, upon closer inspection, the magical student uses it to make a chair to sit on. Rain is surprised that he managed to do such a thing. The creature does a second scan, and it still comes out as 0. This confuses the creature to the point where it freezes. But the 0 number just proves to the visionary that Mash isn't using magic. It means that he is not one of Innocent Zero's men. But Rain wants to test him one more time. He increases his spell to 10 and fires at the cream puff eater. The spider watches on, commenting that Mash is finished because the visionary doesn't use this level against students. The monster is surprised to see Mash holding one of the swords and using it for practice swings before taking a batting stance as the blades jet towards him. The spider sweats in shock as Mash bonds all of Rain's attacks and comments on how dangerous that was. The visionary scoffs at what he has just witnessed before asking Mash for his name. When he gives his full government, he recalls the principal informing him of a new student and explains his unique situation. The old-timer complimented the strong heart of this freshman and pleads for Rain to look after him. The visionary apologizes for the rudeness when he realizes that he stands before that student. Mash doesn't accept his apology initially, but he relaxes a little when he's given a magic kerchief that will heal his wounds. The magical student realizes that there are rabbits on it and assumes that Rain likes rabbits. The 2 blood characters stare at each other for a moment before Mash thanks him for it. Rain warns him to be careful if he's going after Abel. Mash is surprised that he knows, but his senior informs him that the headmaster told him that Mash wanted to be a divine visionary. This will mean that he will naturally have to face Abel since the guy is one of the candidates to win it. Currently, his doll magic far exceeds what's required of a student. He admits being surprised that MASH could block his magic with his bare hands, but without any magic, he is sure that he's going to have a tough time. MASH tries to lie that he can use magic. Rain knows he's capping, so he just continues to explain that Abel holds the most coins in the school, so defeating him will increase MASH's chance of becoming this year's divine visionary. Rain casually leaves after his information dump. MASH thanks him and is confident that his senior is a good guy at heart. MASH proceeds to face Abel but breaks the door again while entering. The leader of the MASHLE comments on it as they prepare to fight. That brings the episode to an end.